right. Hey, Faithful. This is Jason from Voice of a Niner Faithful. Welcome to another episode. I'm trying to do a live through one of my Facebook fan groups called at Niner Faithful, not at Niner Faithful, # Niner Faithful. So if you're in the group and watching me now, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the games I hadn't talked about yet. The last two games of the season, the Lions game and the Cardinals game. Not a whole lot. I think we've all seen and heard as much about it as we really want to. But I just want to touch on them a little bit. And then we'll go into a little bit of the what's going on in the off season so far and a couple interesting things that have already happened. So let's get into it. But before we do, like, comment, and subscribe, whatever platform you might see this on, because I'm not just going live. I'm also recording this, and we'll put it on YouTube and TikTok and wherever else I might happen to do that. So when you see that, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. So let's get into it. So the Lions game wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. I thought, yeah, we were probably going to lose it, and we did. But I don't think we lost it as bad as most people thought. It was a closer game than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to get over to it. I'm actually looking at the score right now for the Pittsburgh Ravens game. It's almost at the end of the third quarter, 7-27. Ravens are just killing the Steelers. So flip over 2 weeks ago, if it'll let me. I'm going to figure this out in a second. But either way, that particular game against the Lions, it was, how can I put it? I think it was more, I think we would have had a better chance of winning that game had we had a better defense at the time. Yeah, Purdy, he threw an interception or two. I think he almost threw two. I'm getting there. I'm working on my way over to that screen, and then I'll put it up so you guys can see it. There, Lions. Full box score. And now let's see if it'll flip over for me like I like to. All right, so bring that back up. And there's a slight delay on my going from what I use OBS Studio and to what I'm showing on Facebook at the moment, and it doesn't look like it's showing up on Facebook what I can show on my OBS Studio. Oh, that's a little different. That's not exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. But anyway, I'll just have to talk it through it and go from there. Because it's not normally what I can do on my OBS Studio is I can switch between my screens. I have a dual screen thing going. But obviously it's not letting me do that at the moment, as you can tell. There we go, back to that. So what I'm seeing is Brock Purdy, he did throw 2 interceptions, but he did throw 3 touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall even tried to throw a ball. Isaac Guerendo got hurt at the during that game too, but he'll be fine from what I hear. Debo, he carried the ball 3 times. Brock Purdy even carried the ball 3 times, ran himself. Ricky Pearsall had an awesome game that game against the Lions, 8 receptions for 141 yards. George Kittle, another awesome game from him. That was 8 catches for 112 yards. Jauan Jennings still did pretty good. They all did really good. It was more toward that end of the, halfway through the fourth quarter onto the rest of it is where it kind of killed us. And yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. Those things, yeah, it could have been better on Brock Purdy. But 27 to 35 for 377 yards, averaging 10.38 yards a pass. And his QBR really wasn't horrible, 86.6. I'm going to say that wasn't a horrible game for Brock Purdy. I think he could have done better, sure, but I think this is more defense not being able to hold the Lions because they scored 40 points. We still scored 34 points. That's a pretty good game, 34 points. But we couldn't hold the Lions from scoring 40. That with the fact that, of course, Jake Moody. And yeah, I think we did okay for that game. All right, I'm going to flip it back to myself now. Now, if I'm looking a little off to the side, that's just because I'm looking at my screen instead of at the camera. I'm using my phone as a camera, and I'm not seeing any comments going on in the room. So, and of course, my camera is blocking part of that. But I can still see most of it, so if someone's commenting, that's all right. And if you notice anything odd, besides me talking, the camera freezes or something like that during the live part, let me know. See if I can figure out something else to use next time I try to do this. So I still think the Lions game wasn't as bad as everyone was going to say it was, and it could have been better, but it wasn't horrible. Now, the game against the Cardinals, on the other hand, that one was a disaster. It definitely could have been better. Josh Dobbs, he threw 2 interceptions. He did have a decent amount of yards. 29 to 43 for 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Our backup running, or our fourth string running back, Patrick Taylor, 17 carries for 109 yards. And again, another decent showing for Mickey Pearsall. He's coming along really well. 6 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. And that was just, it could have been better, but it could have been worse too. We had a lot of backup players in. It was pretty much a game that really, it would have been nice to win, but it really didn't matter. It helped us, I guess, in the way that we got the 11th pick in the draft. I know that the team really didn't want to do that. Our team is not built to throw away games, but in this case, it's okay that they lost, I guess. So with that, I think the season ended on a not the greatest note, but it's finally over and we can concentrate on next year and the off season. Lots of fun stuff happened in the off season already, and it just pretty much started the off season. I am happy to report that they did fire our special teams coordinator. It definitely needed to happen. I've seen some things online and stuff, but nothing confirmed yet that they do plan on letting Moody go. I'll believe it when I see it. I am happy that we did already interview Robert Saleh for the defensive coordinator position. I understand that Kubiak was named our offensive coordinator, since he's pretty much been doing what McDaniel was doing before, but he didn't have the title. But now that he had the title, and the NFL has had to step in and say, "Oh, wait, you can't just give it to him. You got to do the whole interview process, even though we know you're going to hire him anyway." So now they have to go through the official interview process, and so who knows? Maybe something will change drastically, and we'll pick somebody else. But I'm guessing Kubiak is still going to end up being our offensive coordinator. But Shanahan, he's still going to be calling the plays. But maybe that'll help he'll have an official person to bounce things off of. That maybe he'll do it more often now that Kubiak has the official title and that he's called a couple of games now himself. So we'll see where that leads. Um, I think what's happened so far is not unexpected. Um, I think we definitely needed a change at both defensive coordinator and especially special teams coordinator. And I think that with that change, unfortunately, the one bad thing about the whole defensive coordinator change, even if we do get Robert Saleh back, it's going to affect the team even more. What it would we went through, we went from Saleh to DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco was only there 2 years as the DC, and then he left. And then we got Wilks, and then the next guy, and now another new guy. Depending on it, even if it is Saleh, it's so quick. We're not letting our defense. Our defense is getting this type of practice, and then all right, no, now this year it's going to be this type of run scheme. Oh, now this year it's going to be this type of scheme. It's crazy. I feel for the defense in that fact, but I'm hoping if whoever we get this time around gets a chance to stick it out. So, what do you guys all think? Hopefully that we will get better at defensive coordinator and we will get better at special teams coordinator. Speaking of that, I'm going to look something up here real quick. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. There it is. Okay. So what I'm seeing is Sorensen's probably going to get the special teams coordinator position. He'll stay on the team and he'll get that position. I think that actually might work out well. I believe he's done it before. So it's not a bad thing. I think it'll help. I'm okay with him staying on the team. He has a good relationship with the defensive side of the ball, all the players and all the other coaches, and I think it's good. It's a good move. If Robert Saleh comes back, I was watching the earlier game today, the Chargers and the Texans, and seeing DeMeco Ryans on the sideline. He's still animated. He's still into the game. He's jumping up and down when they're doing great. All of that's what I want to see. That's what our last couple of DCs haven't had. We missed it as soon as DeMeco Ryans left. Everything dropped. I wish it hadn't, but it did. And hopefully, if we get Saleh back or whoever we end up with back, really engages with the players on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's what's missing. We're missing that connection between the coaches and the players. And that's what Robert Saleh had. That's what DeMeco Ryans had and still has. I'm sure Saleh still has it. I just don't think the Jets gave him the time to get into it. I think that was more a Rodgers thing, no matter how much he says it isn't, that Saleh is no longer with the Jets. So, which their loss is our gain, I hope. I think some of the things that need to happen now that we are doing this, whoever we end up with as defensive coordinator, there are several things that we'll have to address between now and right after the draft, by the draft, in the draft. We have to address offensive line. We have to address defensive line. I don't think we need to address wide receiver. I think we're keeping Debo. Ricky Pearsall is coming on really well. Ayuk will be back. We're keeping Kittle. I hope and pray that we keep Juszczyk. So I think our core receiving crew include John Jennings. Even didn't he just sign a contract this year, middle of the year? So I think we're good there. I think obviously we're good at quarterback. We're as many people as there might be that are not Purdy, or not pro Purdy or are pro Purdy. We're keeping Purdy unless something drastic happens, like the Bengals call up and say, "Hey, we'll take Purdy if you take our quarterback." We'll take Joe Burrow. I wouldn't mind Joe Burrow. That'd be all right, but that ain't gonna happen. We're keeping Purdy. I like Purdy. I mean, I don't know if you can see this. My wife got me this jersey for Christmas, so I'm a Purdy fan. I like Purdy. I think no matter what we say as fans, the organization is keeping Purdy. So we need to, get your thoughts out there. It's your opinion. You're allowed to have them. If we weren't allowed to have them, I wouldn't be doing this podcast. But let's do that. Let's create a poll. Maybe I can do that. This is the first time I'm doing this, creating a poll, at least in Facebook group. I don't know if you guys want to. If you're watching this off of YouTube or anywhere else, you can answer this in those comments too. But I'm creating a question. Should learn to spell. Purdy stay with the team, or do we go get another QB? Options. Yes. Yes. Stay with team. I'll learn to spell stay. No. Go with another QB. I think I can add an option. Yep. Or C. I think we can try something different. Go another route. No. Keep Purdy another year before signing him. All right, I'm going to save that. See if that poll goes out there. I'm going to have to watch. I can't really see the poll. I know. I'm kind of new to this going live in Facebook, so while I created a poll, I can't see it in where I just put create. So we'll see, and I'll review the results and talk about it in my next episode. But with that said, I think my personal opinion is we keep him, we sign him. I think he's a good enough quarterback that as the years go on, he will get better and better, and he will be really great for our team. He's had some ups and downs. Yes, he needs to practice. I think he needs to get a rain machine or something and practice in it indoor. Put the sprinklers on in a warehouse or something and practice throwing the ball in the rain. But I think he will get better at that too. Look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen was not a great quarterback his first couple of years. Here, it's Brock Purdy was a pretty good quarterback his first couple of years, and he had a little regression, but I think that's not just on him. Yes, some of it is, no doubt, but some of it is all the injuries and everything else. I mean, some of those games that we lost weren't on him. Some of those games were on our defense. Some of those games were on our special teams. So I think he's a good quarterback for us. I think he fits the scheme. He has the respect of the players in the room. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to say, "Well, wait, Garoppolo had all of that too." But Garoppolo, there's stuff that Purdy does that Garoppolo couldn't. Garoppolo didn't do a lot of running. Garoppolo didn't do a lot of escaping, and we've seen Purdy do that. Garoppolo didn't do bombs, and they said Purdy can't do it, but he's shown that he can. Maybe he doesn't do it as much as other quarterbacks that normally do bombs. Just watching Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or any of these quarterbacks nowadays doing that. He might not do it as often as them, but he can do it. So I think we're going to be fine with Brock Purdy as our quarterback. My biggest concern right now is his protection. Trent Williams might play another year, but he's up there. He's not a young buck anymore. He's called the Silverback for a reason. Not just because he's big and mean, but Silverback also has that little connotation about being a little older. And unfortunately for football players, while they might not be old, I mean, they're younger than I am. I'm going to be 55 next year, and I'm not old, but for football, Trent Williams is old. So we need to concentrate on someone to replace him eventually. We need to concentrate on the rest of the offensive line. Pooney was outstanding this year. That was an outstanding pick in the draft. You have to give kudos to Lynch and Shanahan and all the other people who helped pick this guy. There's more than just those two. You guys do realize that. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to be okay in the draft, picking at least a guard and a tackle, minimum, one of each. I would prefer, what do we have? We have 11 picks. I think we use a couple of those lower picks to trade up some so we can have maybe 9 really good picks and 8 of them being four offensive linemen and 4 defensive linemen. That's what I would like to see. And then you use a middle one for cornerback. But that's just me being a fan and what I see. I'm sure that they're going to pick other players, maybe a linebacker, maybe a running back. Who knows? I don't think we need a running back at the moment. Next year, CMC will be back to being healthy. Garendo is going to be healthy. Mason's going to be healthy. I don't know what we're going to do with. I have his rookie card here. Hold on a minute. Let's see if we can get this in the picture here. There we go. Elijah Mitchell. He's still technically on the team. So we're good at running back, I think. So I don't think we need to get a running back in the draft. I don't think we need a wide receiver in the draft. Again, like I said, offensive line, defensive line, maybe a cornerback. Those are the three places I think we need to concentrate on. Now, if we can use draft capital maybe to trade for a player from another team that we already know is good, that's fine too. But that's what we need to concentrate on. If you guys think of any other places that positions that you think that they should talk about in getting in the draft, put it in the comments. Speaking of the draft, as I live here in Wisconsin, the draft this year will be in Green Bay, and whether I can get into the gates of it or not, I'm going to be in Green Bay. I'm going to the draft, and I'll be doing an episode up there, do some shorts up there, and hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe I'll bump into somebody, and we'll do a quick interview or something. Be nice to bump into some 49ers organizational people. That'd be awesome. So, with that said, I think this next season is going to prove a bit pivotal. I think we're gonna keep Deebo, and we got all our major weapons. But the following year, the 2026 season, that's where things are going to start getting a little more shaky. Yeah, we'll have our quarterback locked down. I think Kittle wants to be a 49er. I think we're going to keep Kittle. Ayuk signed for a while. Who knows what's going to happen with Deebo in the 2026 season? I think he's staying around to the 2025 season. Fred Warner eventually is going to need another contract. He's just another all-pro Fred. So, yeah, we're going to have some tighter discussions in the 2026 season. But for the 2025 season, we get people to protect Purdy. We get some better defensive linemen, and hopefully Robert Saleh as our DC, and we can move on from there. As things happen, I'll start putting some more shorts on now that the holidays are fully behind us and everything's slowly gotten back to normal. I'll be posting more stuff, so look for that. And if you have any questions, you want to talk about anything in particular, hear about anything, want me to look stuff up, put a comment down. And again, if you are watching this other than the live that's happening at the moment, like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're watching this. YouTube, TikTok, if TikTok's going to be around in another 2 weeks, who knows. But I'll put it on all the other social things as well. Instagram, that new one, Blue Sky, kind of like a Twitter thing. So look for all my posts there, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Hopefully in the next live I do, I'll post something sooner, like an hour or so before I do it, so you guys all know that I'm doing this, because I've had one viewer and one reaction so far in the half an hour I've been doing this, and that's okay because I didn't put anything out there about it. So you guys all have a great, wonderful night, and I hope to hear from you and get some good questions, and I'll show my poll results. You guys all have a wonderful evening, and go Niners.